Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now, from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice, even now, are moving in the might of your strength, not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours, and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved, and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart. And God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread. Healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory, we give you peace, we give you honor, we give you blessing, we give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you, the fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name, ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty, it's yours. I decree it and I speak it In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. I didn't mean to have that in there, but since it's there, let's go ahead and go there. Happy birthday. It is Crazy Berrytown. I was like, do I call her by her real name or whatever? Tracy Justice, it's your birthday. Now, I really didn't mean to have that up there just yet, but that's okay. That's the way we're going to start it, because I'm looking at these conversations over here. And at the end of the day, y'all, it's all about Crazy Berrytown. This is Yes You O Cubed, one-on-one, just me and you. And I am your spiritual thought leader. And I want y'all to know we up in here, y'all. We up in here. Today's date is March the 16th in the year 2022. And yes, you see it right there. You see it right there. It is her birthday. Who am I talking about? None other than Crazy Berrytown. Now listen. When I look at that picture right there, one of the reasons why I chose that picture, something about that picture reminds me of Look Back at It. Yes, it looks like she's trying to look back at it. And at the end of the day, we just want you to know, here in the Lion's Den, listen, I was cocked and loaded and ready to go before I got anything else in here, child, because it's your birthday. So you know how we do it over here. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Crazy Berrytown. Happy birthday to you. That's the way we're gonna start it in the Lion's Den. That's the way we're gonna start it. That's the way. I like it. One more time for Crazy Berrytown, you guys. This is my girl. I love her. The Lion's Den loves you. Come through, come through, come through. That's it, Crazy Berrytown. That is you. All 3 notes. I can name that tune in 3 notes. Come through, come through, come through. That's my girl. That's my girl. Yes, it's the big 48, and we love you. Yes, we absolutely positively do. That's my girl, y'all. And that's the way we're going to get this party started and get this that hot cross buns, Kim Possible. But I could have swore, y'all, that was 3 Blind Mice. Well, you know how we do it in here. Let's get this party started. And listen, we're going to talk about the Lions Den VIP section on today. And I'm going to tell you what now. To honestly tell the truth, Crazy Berrytown, had she been in the Lion's Den on Central Standard Time, she came in and was trying to get Grandpa Holmes's chair, y'all. And she was right there at the door. The only thing was, it was Eastern Time instead of Central. But we still gonna give it up for you. You gonna get everything today. You gonna get everything God got for you today, Crazy Berrytown. Everything God got for you today, we gonna give it to you. Woo! I said, looky here. That's what I'm talking about. I love you. That's my girl, y'all. That's my girl. She is a blessing to the Lions Den. She is a streamer. So I want you to follow her out there at Crazy Berrytown for your Zumba instruction. I tell you what, she's just the best. We saw her yesterday, and she even had the flute, y'all. She had the flute. The flute was at Zumba, and she played us right on into oblivion. I don't know about you, but I was mesmerized. I started to say traumatized. Well, no. I was mesmerized. By those awesome, enchanting 3 notes. Y'all know how they talk about, you can get a snake charmer and they just get and it just charms or just right on out of it just puts you under that smell and you just under that spell and you just can't, you just don't know what to do with yourself. But anyway, that's what happens when you hear that flute. And those 3 notes are copywritten. Don't try to play those 3 notes. They have a copyright on them, and nobody can do it like Crazy Berrytown can do it. You better ask somebody. Yes, traumatized works too. Listen, you was woe out BTD mom. She Zumbaed us right on into Zion. She really did yesterday. And I don't know if you all have picked this up about Crazy Berrytown. She has stamina, she has strength, she has endurance. Cause baby, she comes in there and I'm telling you, she'll Zumba you right on in Zion. You'll wake up, you'll go to sleep over here and wake up over there in Zion. This mother just keeps on going like the Ever Ready Bunny. She does not stop. I'm telling you, she gets that thing going. You got to do it like this. Look back at it, CBT. Look back at it, girl. Look back at that. Oh my goodness. Come on. 1-800 Down. That's my Crazy Berrytown. She's all that in a bag of tips. If you're not following her, please follow her. And then, of course, right here on this Bat channel, on this Bat station, on Fridays at 12 o'clock high noon, she leads us in Good Grief. And I'm so appreciative for her presence. I don't know about you, but I have to say, I've met some of the most beautiful people here on the internet, and Twitch has been a blessing to me, and she is a blessing to me. She will be a blessing to you. If you're not following her, please give her a follow. Last but certainly not least, I want to bring up the fact that today at 4 o'clock Eastern time, there will be a party in the channel of Mike City. You don't want to miss it. I want the internet. I want the Lions Den. I want everybody that's been blessed by this beautiful woman. I want everybody in Mike City's channel, 4 o'clock Eastern time. And we're going to celebrate this sister because she's worthy. She's worthy to be celebrated. We love you, Crazy Berrytown, and come through. I just got to do it one more time because listen, something about that flutophone, and something about the name Tracy. Now, every time you hear that song, every time you hear that played in this stream, you're going to automatically think of Crazy Berry Town, because, again, that was the interpretation of tongues on that flute. Those 3 notes interpreted to the Titanic. For those that had a discerning spirit and had a discerning ear, you knew exactly what she was playing in those 3 notes. You knew exactly what she was playing in those 3 notes when you heard them. If you didn't hear it, it's because you don't have discernment, babies. If you didn't hear it, it's because you don't have discernment, because the Spirit gave utterance to the church that was the Titanic. All right, now here we go. I want to say good morning to those, and you know how we do it. We come in that VIP section and we say good morning to the people that brought so much love, so much peace, and so much joy into the Lion's Den. I appreciate you for all of your effort coming in this morning. And yes, Crazy Berry Town, you were just on the wrong time zone, but you were in there at 12:03 Eastern time, and I appreciate you for that. Now, for the lines that came in on Central Standard Time, let's come here and let's get it going. Now, the fourth person in the fifth, but the fourth person in the room on Central Standard Time, or I should say the third person. I don't really, yeah. Anyway, I got my numbers confused. Nonetheless, the second runner up, me and these numbers, I done confused myself this morning. I'm like, was it fourth? Was it third? Was it second? I got all them numbers I'm trying to play with in my head, and STL done got confused, saints. Nonetheless, the one that got in, but she didn't get her lips, hips, and fingertips on the sheet, that is none other than Mel Holiday, otherwise known as Miss Fabulous. Thank you for coming in here.
I can't hear you.
I'm discombobulated. My side piece is loose this morning. My side piece is loose this morning. Come on, Mel. Come on, Miss Fabulous. You got in there, but you didn't get no seat. Thank you for the usher board. Thank you for the usher. The ushers went in there this morning. I appreciate you. Now, I got it. And also, who else was in there? Let's take a look at who else was in there, y'all. The other person, you know what? I need to start all over again, because the usher today is actually, oh, y'all, I told you I'm enchanted. That flute has done something to me. That flute, y'all, has enchanted and really mesmerized and took over my mind. I'm completely off square. I'm completely off, y'all. I'm just off. So who was the person that actually was not able to get their lips, hips, and fingertips into the chair today? And it's just, I'm just discombobulated. Today, it was none other than Shelly Thunder. You didn't get in the chair, sis, but listen, you're in there. Baby, Rebel, I've been hypnotized like snakes. STL is hypnotized just like a snake, because that flute has taken me out. And you notice I done played it 3 times already. One for the Father, one for the Son. I'm blaming it on the flute, Twanna's Twitch. I'm blaming it on the flute. I'm blaming it on the, not the whiskey. I'm blaming it on the flute. That's what I'm blaming it on. Water the whiskey is what's going on up in here this morning. Absolutely. So, Shelly, thank you for coming in and being the usher on the day. We appreciate you. Now, let's actually get the second runner up and the third person, who's really the fourth person, into the Lion's Den is none other than, y'all keep up with those numbers? Miss Fabulous, come on to the love seat, sis. Come on to the love seat and have yourself a chair. Come on in. Now, the first runner up and the second, who's really the third, because y'all remember Crazy Berry Town's already in there. The second person in the Lion's Den after 12 o'clock Central Standard Time, the person that gets that other love seat is none other than Truck driver, you did that, sir. You did that, Mufasa. Come on in and have a seat, sir. Come on in and have a seat. And so the winner of Grandpa Holmes's chair, and really the second person in the Lion's Den, But the first one on Central Standard Time is none other than BTD Mom. BTD Mom, you are the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair. And we want to congratulate you for getting your lips, your hips, and your fingertips in that chair, sis. You did that this morning. You did it, you did it, you did it. And congratulations to you. Whew, that's the hardest Grandpa Holmes' chair I've ever done in all the history of Grandpa Holmes' chair in the Lion's Den. Anyway, that's what happens when you're mesmerized by that flute, y'all. That flute just took me over. Now I'm gonna come through and I'm gonna say, you know how we do it over here. Come on and get those coffee cups out. Come on and get those coffee cups out, because it's time for me to say good morning to everybody and celebrate you for being in the Lion's Den. I love you so much and I appreciate you for making your way in here this morning. So get those coffee cups out. Get those coffee cups out. And I want to say, Crazy Berrytown girl, it's your birthday. I see you. Come on in here. Stacy 546, BTD Mom, Twanna's Twitch, come on, I see you. Truck Driver 57, I see you. The Rebel Inc., I see you. Kim Possible, oh thank heaven for 7-Eleven. Kim Possible 7-Eleven is in the room. Tall Pumps is here. Tall Pumps is pumping tall. I see you, girl. Stacy 546, I see you. Shelly Thunder, y'all know how we do it in here. I see you, sis. I see you. Yes, I do. Coming on up, and I see Mino 3782 come through, and she's already putting numbers out there, y'all. She's already putting numbers out there. Fairly All Day is going to be our special guest Sunday at 6 o'clock. I see you, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later on. Mino's out there dancing. I see you dancing, dancing, dancing. She's a dancing machine. Now, as we come on up, I see you, I see you, I see you. I don't want to miss anybody that's in this chat today. I'm flying up the line. I'm flying. Come on, Twanna's Twitch. If I didn't say you, I want to say you now. I see you in the Lion's Den. Come through, come through. Now, I think I can. Y'all remember that? The little engine that could. Anyway, I had a memory lapse back to kindergarten. Nonetheless, we coming on up. We coming on up. I'm trying to make sure the Rebel Inc., I appreciate you all the time, every day. Come through. Now, I think I got everybody. I was trying to go quick, fast, and in a hurry. Because listen, today we gonna get it crack-a-lackin'. We gonna get this party started. We gonna have some conversation, and we're just gonna enjoy one another's company for an hour or two, and then we gonna get up out of here. Now let me come down and see if anybody else came in the room while I was going. I think I got Cassandra awoke 2020. Cassandra awoke. What's wrong with my eyes? Because it's that flute, y'all. Everything that happens, it's not even gonna be side piece. It's not even gonna be my side piece studio. Anything that happens out of the ordinary today, anything that's off today, it's gonna be the flute. It was the flute that did it to me. I'm trying to tell you. Cassandra woke 2022. Come on in here and good morning to you. And so much love coming at you. Now, y'all keep on celebrating Crazy Berrytown. Keep on giving her the love. Come on in here. Thank you so much for liking the stream. 14 Infernal Flames. Come on in here and we appreciate you. Now, let's go ahead and get this party crack-a-lackin'. Let's get this party started, because as you can see, I'm still under the spell of the flute. It still got me in its clutches, and I just don't know how long it's going to take me to get out from under this spell. But I got a feeling this ain't no fast acting spell that this child got over me with this flute. Here we go with the music. Here we go with your coffee cups. I see you, BTD Mom. Get your coffee cup out. Get your coffee cup out. Let's do this on this morning. I have some conversation that I want to talk to you about, because one of the things that I think really does have me discombobulated, y'all, I think is daylight savings time. I have never I said this to a friend on yesterday. We were talking. I said to her, I have never, ever, ever been discombobulated. I Shelly Thunder. Oh, wait a minute. Thank you. Thank you for putting that in there, Shelly. Thank you for that kapow and that coffee cup. Because you know what it made me do? It made me remember I cannot go another further without acknowledging the moderators. I need mod love in the room right now. I need mod love in the room right now. I got Shelly Thunder, I got the Rebel Ink, and I got Michelle Browno. Those are our beautiful moderators in the Lion's Den. Y'all go ahead and give them some love. Go ahead and give them some love because they surely deserve it. All three of those beautiful mods are just everything to me in the Lion's Den. Appreciate you so much, and I surely can't leave you out because I can't do without you. You beautiful ladies, I appreciate you. Now, that flute got me in a whole nother place, and y'all see, I got to get BTD Mom, otherwise known as Anita Harvey, out the screen and the stream so I can go on. There you go. As we move right along, the flute. Y'all gonna be about sick of that flute in a minute. Now, let's go here because this is a good thing that that note. I just want to say to Crazy Berrytown, I feel like your skills are actually getting stronger. Okay, here we go. Let's get over here in slumbered, slept, and slobbered, y'all, because I got something to say. It was reported to me while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, y'all. While we slept, that's your jam, Rebel? That's your jam? Okay, we're gonna load it up every time we get a chance. It was reported to me that while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, that they are actually thinking of doing away. Yes, on yesterday, they came out and just tune that. Oh, Teresa Jones, I missed you. I think I did miss saying good morning to you. Get your teacup out, sis. Get your teacup out. Mac TTF, I see you. Get your teacup out. I got all these beautiful people coming in here, and you know I don't want to miss nobody that comes in the Lion's Den chat without saying good morning to you. So come through. That flute's gonna tune it up every time you turn around. Now, they are saying that they have passed it in the House. Now it needs to go to the Senate. And they have said, listen, we've had enough with daylight savings time because we don't need it. Now, I want to get some ones in the chat. If you want daylight savings time gone, put a 1 in the chat. If you want to keep daylight savings time, put a 2 in the chat. But baby, on yesterday, they said we've had enough. Fluty flute is mesmerizing, Cassandra. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Y'all just don't understand. I'm sitting here in the hot seat. I'm sitting in the chair where, listen, y'all can tell quick, fast, and in a hurry. STL is under the spell of that fluty flute. Yes, I am. Y'all say, Stacy said, I'm done with daylight savings time. And as I was saying, I told my friend, 1 in the chat if you're done with daylight savings time, 2 in the chat if you wanted to keep going. Now, scientists are saying, sleep expert scientists are saying, if we don't have daylight savings time, we will be forever out of sync with nature. Now, I'm trying to understand that rationale. Are they cutting a check with it, Tall Pumps? Listen, I don't know about them cutting a check with it, but they done said it's time to get rid of this. Whichever one gives you more light in the evening, which would be to keep it like it is and stop the flip-flop. I see, stop the daylight savings times, truck driver. I see. Shelly Thunder said, I don't care what they call it, just give me that extra back. I give you that extra hour back, and I got you. Depends on which time zone Arizona lands in. I see you. And Twana's Twitch, let me say this about this sister. It's 7 o'clock here, but she's here on 5 o'clock in the morning time, y'all. Twana's Twitch is here on 5 o'clock in the morning time, and she struts her stuff right on up in the Lion's Den at 5 o'clock in the morning. And girl, I'm trying to tell you, do your thing, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I see you, Tall Pumps. You just want to enjoy time. You don't care what kind of time, daylight savings time, any other time. You just want time. I see you, BTD Mom, and I got you. Since they meeting on stuff, why don't we have have a meeting on the check. Cut the check. I hear you, Tall Pumps. Cut the check. While you doing all this meeting, please meet on something that matters. Cut the check. Now, speaking of that, I want to say this, Tall Pumps. I saw this morning and read that President Biden has commissioned another 800, I think it's million, I think it's an M, another 800 million to go over there to Ukraine this morning. And so there you talk about cutting a check. That's the first thing that ran through my mind. And I said I wasn't going to tell nobody. I said I was going to just keep it to myself and not have a conversation about us sending more money over there to Ukraine while we still over here. We over here. And we still need the check cut in the black community. But that's a conversation for another day. So I see you. Mino said, I'm with Tall Pumps. Cut the check. I see. Listen, y'all done stop voting on daylight savings time, so we don't care nothing about that. Cut the check. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Please cut the check. That seems like it's winning. That's cut the check is winning. So at the end of the day, y'all, you know, I'm just looking and I'm saying, Lord Jesus, today, this is the first year that I can remember. It's millions. Okay, thank you, Tall Pumps. And at the end of the day, 800, that ain't no small number. So, you know, I keep saying this, and I'm going to continue to echo my sentiment on this matter. Why is it when it comes to education in urban core? Why is it when it comes to health care for people that need it? Why is it when it comes to all of these different things that people are suffering through in this country? Why is it when we bring that stuff up, we can never find a red cent, not one penny for that? But anytime we need to send some money someplace else that has nothing to do with us, we always have a means and ability to find some money somewhere. Cut the check. Cassandra said, leave time alone. Please, 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 honey. She's begging like James Brown. Please, please, please leave time alone. And you know, at the end of the day, I have to say, I feel more discombobulated this year than I ever have. I just feel daylight savings time normally does not bother me, but I'm telling y'all, I'm off. I'm just off. I've been off ever since daylight savings time came. I was off all day yesterday. I was off last night. I called my friend thinking I was an hour behind, and it was actually an hour ahead. And child, I was I'm discombobulated. It's the flute, y'all. You already know what it is. I thought it was daylight savings time, but it was just revealed to me. That's what got me, y'all. That's what got me. I've been off ever since Making the Band made its debut. Ever since Making the Band made its debut, I've been off. What about the humanitarian efforts in the hood? I hear you, Tall Pumps. I hear you, and you pumping tall. So at the end of the day, come through. Don't mess with me in the morning. It's not cute. I see you, Rebel. And normally that's not my MO and that's not my testimony. But this daylight savings time, somehow or another, it's got me off. I'm just off my square. I'm not lying. I'm just off. So show us the checks we need, want, and deserve, and been waiting too long. Listen, y'all in here talking this much. Yes, the debut. Yes, we doing the debut. Not the debut, the debut. It was a beautiful debut by Making the Band in Rebels channel on Monday night. But that flute has got me off. I've been ever since I got mesmerized. Listen, because every time and I want to ask this, I just got to ask this. And the Tall Pumps done came up and she done started twerking and working, y'all. I just want to ask this about why did y'all keep requesting songs at the debut of 3 RW? Why did y'all keep requesting songs? That you were under the spell of the flute as well. Y'all kept asking for songs, y'all kept requesting songs, and some folk were all the way at the end of the whole night's event before they realized, because they were spellbound by 3RW. Some of y'all didn't know until the end of the stream it was the same song. Y'all, some folk were getting all the way to the end of the stream before they were realizing that it was the same song. Yes, Mino, we want another episode. We want another episode. We really, really do. We want another episode of Making the Band, because that was the best of all time. So at the end of the day, I would cut. They see the greatness of talent. And they wanted to go to another level. They wanted to be blessed by it. They wanted to go to heights unknown, to higher heights and deeper depths. Y'all remember they used to say that at church. We're going to higher heights and deeper depths. Listen, the 3RW band took us to higher heights and deeper depths. Listen, we were higher than a kite. We were higher than crack. We were higher than, baby, you name it. This was more than wet. Baby, we just been out here in these streets ever since Monday night. We just have not been. This is a high that the saints just can't even come down from. We are still spellbound and mesmerized. This Royal Confessions. Good morning, love. She came out alert. Same song, different words. I couldn't understand it. Listen, you want us to lay hands on that flute, Teresa? It was the same song, different words, and they just kept on requesting songs. I said the saints are confused. The saints are mesmerized. The saints are traumatized by that flute and that introduction. Dun, 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 dun. Tall Pumps is pumping tall from the ceiling to the wall. Tucho flute come through, Cassandra. I love it. Kim Possible, the intro plus the flute mandated repeated requests. Don't forget that triangle. Baby, that triangle was on point. And all of them bottles and all that. Listen, because Kelly Vision, she gave us a vision. Kelly Vision gave us a vision. She gave us sight. She restored sight to the blind. Kelly Vision restored sight to the blind. Every time she would hit that triangle. And then I want to know what was, they were happy and they were in the spirit when they got to the end of the song and they kicked that leg up. That was their version of the shout. When they kicked that leg up, that's when you knew they had come into the fullness of the power thereof. Because at the end of the day, you say you in the alley now waiting for him, Mino. You in the alley now, but it being the same song is what makes it so versatile. Now, Crazy Berry Town, she's like, you know what? It is 7:45 in the morning, and I want somebody to check Crazy Berry Town's cup. Somebody, please, please, please check Crazy Berry Town's cup. Do you understand the words that are coming out of her mouth? She said, being the same song is what made it so versatile. And she's an educator in our educational system, y'all. She's an educator in our system at the higher levels too, y'all. We are only able to do the variety of requests that way because, again, as she said in her thesis statement, yes, that thesis statement that tells you what the paper is going to be about. Being the same song is what makes us so versatile. That is the thesis statement to this paper that she's writing. And I still want somebody to check her cup at 7 o'clock in the morning and see what she's drinking. Oh, Lord Jesus. We ain't been right since Monday, Kim Possible. I don't think that Twitch will ever be right again since Monday. There's gonna something. Y'all got Crazy Berry Town. Okay, so let's have poll call. Who's up in here? I got Thunderclap. I got Tall Pumps. I need who else is on poll call? Because listen, Tall Pumps is just twerking and carrying on, and y'all just done went on a whole nother. Rebel Inc. said they can do any song at any time. They can, did you hear? You heard what I said. They can do any song at any time. Ooh, y'all know what? Y'all know what? Yeah, no, they didn't make any sense. That didn't make any sense. Okay, bye. Kim Possible, the triangle and the bottles added the extra something to the event. It rated it. Play that funky flute. Play that funky mute flute until we fly. Listen, we flying already. Y'all got drinks out here, and listen, we haven't even hit 8:00 in the morning, and the Lions Den already has spirits loose in the cups. But that's the way we rolling this morning, y'all, because it's Crazy Berry Town's birthday, y'all. I'm gonna say it once more and again. It's Crazy Berry Town's birthday, and because it's Crazy Berry Town, y'all know how we do it over here. I just can't help myself. I just cannot.
Hey, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to
Yeah. You know what? We just gonna do this all day long until we get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Cause it's Crazy Berry Town's birthday, y'all. It's Crazy Berry Town's birthday. And we gotta give it up. We gotta give it up. Now, I hope y'all enjoyed that remix and the version of Happy Birthday with the flute, because I felt like it was appropriate that we should allow the flute playing skills of Crazy Berry Town to accompany the birthday song. Now, here we go, y'all. I am looking for what the outcome is going to be. 1-800-STL-MIX. That's what I'm talking about. Mino 3782. That's what I'm talking about all day long. Now let's keep this party crack-a-lacking, because listen, we talk mix it while we kick it. Come through, Cassandra, because it's Crazy Berry Town's birthday, y'all. It's Crazy Berry Town's birthday. We love you, sis, and we hope that you're going to enjoy every single moment of this day all day long. Now, let me look at the other stories that I wanted to bring out today while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. The study has come out that has identified that baby boomers, if you're a baby boomer, put a 1 in the chat. If you are a baby boomer, put a 1 in the chat. Now, they're saying that there is a historical dismounting, a leaving from the system of baby boomers out of the work environment, that they're retiring at a phenomenal rate. Come through. I love all my baby boomers. I love every last one of you. 1-800-CBTB Day. That's what it is, Mino. Put that number up there. So they're saying that they're estimating that $70 trillion is going to transfer during this time time. You'll be selling STL mixtapes in the alley during intermission. In the alley. Now you got to go to the bowling alley. That's the only place they perform, y'all. That's the only place you can go. To the alley. You got to go to the alley. I only have 2 baby boomers in here. Well, listen, I got mad love for both of you, Teresa and Cassandra. They're saying that 70 million is going to transfer as baby boomers are doing their thing and coming on up. My boom stay working. I see you, Cassandra. Your boom stay working. 70 trillion, y'all. That is a lot of money. 70 trillion. Now, this is what they say. They are estimating that this 70 trillion is it's already underway, and we've been seeing this transfer out since 2011 when the first baby boomers turned 65, and they have been retiring now at a rate of 10,000 per day. Do y'all hear that? Baby boomers are coming out of the market, out of the workforce since 2011. 10,000 per day. Do y'all realize how many people that is coming out? That's a lot of people, and it ain't over. It ain't over. So as they're looking at, Pew Research Center has come out with this, but they said since the pandemic in 2019, the pace of boomers leaving the workforce now has doubled from 2019 to 2020. I mean, I read that and I was bowled over. Now, if you understand 10,000 per day, baby boomers coming out of the workforce, baby boomers saying, I'm done with y'all. You know, cut my check and send me my money. I'm out of here. 20,000 people per day if it's doubled from 2019 to 2022. Gee, you said you came out at 62 6 years ago. Man, 10,000 per day and then doubling in 2019 to 2020, 20,000. And I guess, you know, baby boomers, so what's the sentiment there? With the pandemic coming on and COVID-19 out, y'all not gonna kill me out here in these streets. Y'all not gonna get me to the end of my journey where I'm ready to kick back and relax and enjoy myself, and then give me the plague out here in these here streets. It's just not worth it. It's not worth the stress. It's not worth the strain. I don't know what the rationale is, but do y'all understand that doubled during the pandemic from 2019 to 2020, and you're talking about 10,000 per day prior to $70 trillion is transferring fairly all day. That's a lot of knowledge walking out the workforce, and that's what I wanted to. Girl, you must be in my brain. I said, now, while they're looking at the 70 trillion in dollars, I'm looking at the 10,000, 20,000 per day in knowledge that's walking out the workforce. Where are we going to replace these workers, and how are we going to replace these workers? Because, baby, some of these situations that I've walked in, I'm looking and I'm saying, that's a lot of money, Teresa. That's a lot of money. I'm looking and I'm saying, you know, I when I go, my mother for a brief time, just for a day before they ended up, they sent her back to the hospital unconscious and unresponsive. I don't think anybody checked on her the whole day. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm looking and I'm saying, the people that I talk to and the people that I encounter, these people have no knowledge. They have no, I told you, even when they sent her back to the hospital, ICU, they brought her back, they put her on life support, they brought her back only to have a doctor come in later on. A young little Karen came in and tried to insist that she had COVID, and we had to argue her up and down that my mother didn't have COVID. And she looked like a little girl. She looked, and I don't have a problem with understanding that at the end of the day, And it is my understanding, even with COVID, that some of these doctors really had not completed everything they needed to complete, but they needed to fast track some of these youngsters into the market because they needed their hands in the hospitals. So at the end of the day, I'm very mindful how I argued with this little girl that my mother did not have COVID, and she finally went over to the computer and realized that she had the wrong patient. I'm talking about in ICU. I'm not just talking about on the regular floor. I would hate for this to happen in the hospital from top to bottom, from the top floor to the basement. I would hate for this to happen anywhere, but especially in ICU. I had to argue with this little girl that my mother did not have COVID. Then you got the situations where the folks can't diagnose. They don't know what's wrong with you. They can't figure it out. They are absolutely clueless. You give them symptoms and they go out there to the computer. They input all of your symptoms and then come back with what they think it might be the problem because the computer said, because they don't know. I am looking and I'm saying, my goodness, I see you, Teresa. You said you did your hard 40. I'm looking and I'm saying, do you realize how much knowledge has walked out since 2011? Do you realize how much experience has walked out since 2011? And baby, in a lot of these areas, we're not ready. These children, and I love the babies, but these children have not been mentored and they're not necessarily fully equipped to problem solve and some other things that need to happen. And I'm sitting here and I'm saying, if 70 trillion, y'all talking about the dollars, I'm talking about the knowledge and the experience is more than 70 trillion. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? We have actually in value, y'all looking at hard dollars, and I hear you, Teresa, you did your hard 40, but I'm looking at the workplace when you start talking about the intangibles of value, when you talk about experience, knowledge, and expertise, baby, we are hurting up in here. We're hurting. We trying to come out before the government puts a loan against all your pensions. BTD mom. Wait, they cutting checks. And is Jim Crow Biden sitting down too? He a boomer. Listen, I'm not even going to have that conversation, Tom Pumps. That's a whole nother conversation to have right there. That's a whole nother conversation to have right there. You hope the companies utilize their succession plans. Listen, I don't think some of these companies had succession plans fairly all day. I don't think some of these companies had succession plans. I think folk got their money and ran. Folks are getting their money and they're running. And I'm looking and I'm saying, what's going to be left as far as experience? Because I'm going to tell you what, I don't care what anybody says. There is knowledge and experience that comes to the table when you have these older workers that these young folks do not have. Now, I'm just saying. Now, I thank God for technology. I thank you for all of the different little tricks of the trade that you're coming forward with. And I love it, y'all. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to stay stuck on stupid back in the past. This is the way we've always done it. I don't have a problem with changing. I will change in a heartbeat. And that might be why some of the boomers are saying it's time for me to get up out of here too. Because it may be and I'm gonna say it this way, and I hope y'all can receive it in the spirit it's given. They may be able to see the changes that you're making in the organization and the company ain't gonna work. And sometimes you just can't tell some of these folk nothing, honey. A hard head makes a soft behind. They're not gonna listen. They're not gonna pay attention in some instances, not all, but in some instances. And so it leaves me saying, what's gonna happen with these companies? And I'm gonna tell you straight up, I don't wanna go to the hospital. I'm gonna tell the truth. I don't wanna go to a nursing care facility. I don't wanna go to some of these places where I know good and well some of these people are untrained, unknowledgeable, have no experience and no expertise. I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you. So, I'm just saying, I looked at that this morning and I found that to be absolutely staggering that many experienced people are leaving the workforce daily. That's not the overall number, y'all. That is daily. That's the exit. They sang it, I believe, who was it? This is my exodus. This is my exodus. Baby, the baby boomers are saying, this is my exodus. Y'all figure it out. And I don't know about y'all, but that's a scary number. And that makes me wonder what's gonna happen up in these here streets. Cause baby, that's a lot of people coming out with knowledge and experience. Bump to 70 trillion. I'm just looking at all of that information walking right out the door. So wow, I'm just looking at the situation, and it's concerning. It's concerning to me. Come on, Stacy. It's scary as shirt. They don't know how they don't have the older ones to learn from. Exactly. The things a computer cannot teach you. I said this the other day, and thank you for saying that, Stacy. When I was at the age of 28, advanced to management for the city, and I was the youngest manager, division manager there. But I had enough sense. I had a city administrator, and I was under her tutelage. She took me under her wing, and she taught me stuff. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? And it doesn't matter how sharp your brain is at 28. There are some nuances of the job. There are some elements of information. Shoot, there's even just some terminology that you got to understand in this setting. I don't care what that term means when you're over here. When you're here in civic duty and in city government, and you're dealing with the city coffers over here, that terminology means something totally different over here than what it means in some of these other even companies that are not government agencies. You got to understand the language, all of that, and some of that only is translated to you by somebody older that has the experience. And then listen, then you got to have even the read between the lines knowledge of the old folk. Okay, you need folks that have the experience and understanding that say, I don't care what that piece of paper said. I don't care what this or that and the other said. At the end of the day, let's talk about the difference between de jure and de facto. It doesn't matter what's on the books and what the law says. The reality of how this thing works, and sometimes you need somebody on the inside with experience that can break that thing down and tell you how that really works. So I just looked at that. I know it. Twan is twitched. Tall Pumps is on one this morning. Tall Pumps is on one this morning. They don't think that far ahead generally, fairly all day. They really don't, and a lot of times you got, in these days and times, it used to be you had company men and company women, right? And really I'd have to say company men when you start talking about leadership, because company women was not even in existence at the administrative and leadership levels. But they weren't, they maybe had a bigger picture and a bigger view because they wanted the longevity of that company. They wanted to be here 10 years, 20 years down the road. Zachary Jays, come on, and thank you for following. I appreciate you. They may have wanted that back in the old day when you had company people that worked and were loyal for time. Baby, this generation now, and I think it's almost their MO, 2 to 5 years is the window of time, and you need to be looking someplace else. 2 to 5 years, I'm here. 2 to 5 years, I'm there. So why am I saying that? Because when you don't have that company loyalty that's trying to go over the long haul, I'm in it for what I can get right now. I'm in it for what I can get for me right here. Come on, it's to show me the money. I'm out. I see you, Teresa. I see you. And so when you start talking about thinking ahead for the longevity, for the long haul of the company, I don't think that that's always the factor in today's time, in today's thinking, because again, 2 to 5 years and I'm out of here. And then that's the next person's headache. That's the next person's to figure out. So I don't know if we aren't really going to find that in the immediate years to come, once the baby boomers finish their exodus, yes, this is my exodus, I don't know what we're going to have left. And it's not to say our young people are not capable. They are. But at the end of the day, they're inexperienced and they're lacking the knowledge and the know-how in many of the areas where they need some of these old timers. And that used to be the way of the world. I don't care what it was. You'd have, if you were a barber, you'd have that young barber that would get tutelage by that experienced older barber. You'd have that beautician, that cosmetologist. You would have that name the field, name the arena. It didn't matter. You'd have that old timer that would take that young timer. And many times find that individual that they would pour into and make that investment. And it's like now, it's just like, where are we going to get the knowledge from? Where are we going to get the information? Where's that experience that's walking out the door? Where are we going to plug that hole at? Because that's a hole, y'all. Whether you realize it or not, that's a big seeping hole. That knowledge of those baby boomers, that's some information that we need. People think they don't need knowledge as long as they can run a computer to think for them. But that's just as wrong as two left shoes, because that computer, garbage in, garbage out. Y'all know it. Here you go. Garbage in, garbage out. If you put garbage in, you're going to get garbage out of it. And if you don't know the first thing about what's going on, and you're sitting there and you're depending on that computer to tell you some things. And I'm going to say this because I talk a lot about Michelle Brownell here in one of our moderators and here in our stream. I appreciate her on the medical side because hers is a gifting. It has nothing to do with let me sit down and put these symptoms into the computer. I've seen this child really tell people what's wrong with them better than the doctors in the white coats are doing. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Because that doctor's in that white coat and that doctor's sitting down, going out and putting those symptoms, writing it down on a piece of paper, going out and putting those symptoms in a computer, but still not having the intuition and the gift and the knowledge and the know-how, the sense, and put all of that together and look at the patient and listen to the patient and say, based on what you said, let's look at this right here. So there's certain things that intuitive thinking and processing, it cannot be replaced by a computer. So, at the end of the day, that BTD mom, this idea that we don't need the knowledge and the experience because I got a computer, that's the very thing that kind of has me shaking in my boots and saying, I don't know if we haven't traded off some good knowledge and energy here by watching these babies go out the door. These baby boomers, we need that knowledge. So knowledge keeps leaving. So inexperienced people are up to bat. Help us, because we need to move forward, especially in healthcare. And that's the truth, Cassandra. And I'm just, I try not to go here, but I'm going to tell you what. I got you, Mino. Get you some good rest. So much love to you, baby. And get you some sleep and then get up to come at it. I appreciate you coming in after your work day. Love you so much. Have a good one. So this is especially for me, Cassandra. I've had several really bad experiences with healthcare. And at this point, I just have to say that experienced nurse, that experienced doctor, that experienced clinician, technician, I feel like we're in a danger zone, in my opinion. We're in a danger zone. Even in my mother's healthcare with hospice, I had a hospice worker that came in. And then after all was said and done, and I went back, well, she was new. Don't send me nobody new. If she doesn't know what she's doing, she needs somebody to shadow her. She needs somebody to follow her. She needs somebody that knows what they're doing. But we're out here being subjected to all of this new blood coming in that does not have the knowledge, the experience, or anything else, and not having somebody over to help train them. It's like, I'm looking and I'm saying, man, we in the bed with the devil, because listen, people's lives are on the line. The other side of the coin, I see you. After a certain time, a number of years of service, if they stay too long, they are paying the company to work for them. Take the money and run. Come through. Now, I hear you fairly all day, which says to me, maybe we need to look at tweaking the system. I am not an advocate, and especially for people of color, I'm not an advocate, and I understand if they stay too long, they are paying the company to work for them. And I do, I know of a family member who, she was right at the door, and we say, okay, listen, I think you better go in and talk to somebody and see, what's up. And sure enough, if she had stayed, I think she came out on that Friday. If she had stayed to that Monday, she would have been paying the company. And sister got her stuff, got her money, got her stocks, got her bonds, and she got up out of there Friday. And I don't blame her. You got to take a look at that. And again, for those that are at that time and season season of life, you may need to look and make sure that you're not paying the company, because baby, that surely will happen to you. I promise you, it actually absolutely will. So, but look at these cashiers who have registers to calculate for them, but they can't count back your change. BTD mom, I'm telling you what, and they've even got the machines to the point now it will highlight the numbers to tell you what to give the people back. Now, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Now, math not being my strong point. Math is not my strong point, but I can do math. Just be it understood, I can do it. But then I look at my dad and my dad's generation, who were able to take 2 to 3 numbers out and multiply it in their head. I mean, I would sit there and I would just be mystified how you can have this many columns of numbers and you can calculate and get the correct answer in your head and have the answer before I do it long form on the paper. So we see this, what I'm going to call a deterioration, if you will, that has been happening from generation to generation to generation. And so now we're here where I don't know how to count back your change, and unless the machine tells me, and God forbid that my numbers don't light up to tell me give her 120, 110 and 3 ones, I just don't know. I just while technology is a beautiful thing, I just don't know how we are in the grand scheme of things. Excuse me, I'm not sure. Excuse me. Something went up my nose. I'm cooking some chitlins upstairs, y'all. I might have some pepper going up my nose. But at the end of the day, I'm not exactly sure where we are with, if we're not shooting ourselves in the foot by becoming so dependent on technology that if you took that technology away, would we really be crippled? That's a huge question. Tall pumps, these young'un don't know what bedside manner is. Now you said a mouthful here, because I'm telling you, time after time. Now I could actually go through several different incidents, but time won't allow me. But when you talk about bedside manner, when you talk about listening, when you talk about, but now understand this, listening to black folk in healthcare didn't just start, or not listening, let me correct that. Not listening to black folk in healthcare, especially black women, is nothing new. That's always been the instance, and thanks be to God that we can finally get care without being sent to some hospital that is less than, I can tell you a story. I can tell you a quick story about my grandmother, my father's mother, who bled to death because they would not treat a black woman in the hospital, and they just rolled her out there, and she and the baby died because they wouldn't treat black folk. And even though we can look and say, oh, but that doesn't happen today, we still have things of that nature happening and going on. Don't fool yourself. So there you have it. So Zachary Jays, thank you for following. I appreciate you so much. 2 to 5 years is what's trending fairly all day, and they out of there. So at the end of the day, DJ P-Fu is my friend and my brother. Welcome to the stream, and thank you so much for coming in here. Thank you. If you're not following him, please give him a follow. I see you. You'll tell them in a minute, bring someone with experience, baby, and don't let them come in. Now, it used to be back in the day, I don't care who you got coming in to get your blood. They could get your blood out of here. These youngins, baby, they will stick you 10 times. They'll dig around in your vein. You come out with 10 bruises all up and down your arm just trying to get 1 vial of blood. I'm like, have they not taught the babies how to get your blood out your body? I don't care, even if you're a hard stick. They had somebody that could come and get your blood. So, you talk about, hey, send somebody in here with the experience, and at the end of the day, and I know you got to cut your chops somewhere, but don't cut them on me. Don't be chopping on me. You chop on somebody else. Cut your chops on somebody else. Send me somebody in here that knows what they're doing. And you say, oh, you hard. No, baby, I'm not a hard stick. You don't know what you're doing. And if I told you I was a hard stick from the beginning and you don't know what you're doing, please, I feel a James Brown's begging spirit. Please send somebody else in here. Stop digging around in my arm when you don't know what you're doing. So, you know, I'm telling you, it got rolled over and book come through here. And so, listen, at the end of the day, they couldn't figure out the difference between 4 cents and Tall Pumps. Don't get into the math because these babies can be clueless. And so you had to do multiplication tables every day before you could do anything else. Come through here, Twanna's Twitch. The math, all of these different things. And now, mind you, you're going to have need of it in all of these different areas. If you're in the medical arena, you need to know math. If you're in any corporate situation, you're going to need to know math. I don't care if it's just a matter of you taking the counter and doing the inventory on the shelves. You need to be able to do math. So, you know, at the end of the day, good morning, MCP 812. Come on in here, sis. Come on, and hugs and love to you. See you, Stacy. I got you. Got to go. Now, so Auntie Diddy, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So at the end of the day, yes, Tall Pumps. I got booty noodles in the pot upstairs cooking, and I'm thinking that some of that pepper done come down here and got up in my throat and done got me in here sneezing and carrying on. So you know, yes, they're in the pot with some hog maw. Can I go ahead and add that with the Tall Pumps? I got hog maw and booty noodles. Cooking even as we speak. So there you have it. So and when I finish, I will be dining sufficiently. So there you go. That's it. So I appreciate everybody. Come on, say her name, Mayola. I see you, Cassandra. Mayola. I see you. I see. That's exactly why you don't have organ donor on your driver's license. I hear you on that too. Auntie Diddy is in the room, and I want to say good morning to you. Come through. Auntie Diddy is the counterpart to Uncle Diddy, and they are streamers, and I appreciate you for being here. You will not practice on me fairly all day. You cut your chops someplace else, but you will not be chopping on DJ Leo the Great. High five to you, my brother. Come on in here. It's so good to see you. He is a streamer. Please follow him. It's in my throat. You see, it's in my throat. Crazy Berry Town. Ain't nothing wrong with booty noodles. Now, y'all that don't eat booty noodles, y'all not gonna shame me this morning. My booty noodles and my hog maw is cooking even as we speak. Tall Pumps, you said a mouthful. They don't even know if their check is short. They don't even know if their check is short. But if I tell you the youngin' let me get that 3.5 for the 25, they get that. That's Royal Confessions. Don't be talking about nasty. Don't be talking about nasty in my stream. Ain't nothing wrong with them booty noodles and that hog maw. Now, see, some of y'all be lining up at my door trying to get some. So y'all not gonna shame me, and I'm gonna think about every last one of you when I eat them. I'm gonna tear them up. I don't even need no hot sauce. I'm gonna just tear them up just like they are. So at the end of the day, I'm trying to tell you, don't y'all bring me no Eveline, don't nobody bring me no bad news about my booty noodles. So there you go. DJ D-Man is my guy. Come through here. So good to have you on today. Good afternoon, I should say. Good morning to you. And come on, if y'all not following DJ D-Man, I want y'all to follow him. Because he's an excellent streamer, excellent DJ, and he's just a good-hearted brother, y'all. He's just a good-hearted brother. No, they ain't for Easter. I just had some and I cooked them, Tall Pumps. Y'all, listen, y'all do booty noodles like you do your good china. You only do it on special occasions. If I feel like booty noodles today, I'm gonna have my booty noodles and hog maw today. I don't need to wait for no particular time to eat my booty noodles. So there you have it. Now, Oh, come on in here. Come on, Lady T. I see you. It's so good to have you in here this morning. Thank you for joining the Lion's Den. So much love coming to you. All these streamers that are in here, if you're not following them, please, please, please follow them. So listen, I want you to go ahead. I know Crazy Berrytown. So some of you are wondering about this conversation when Twana's Twitch said she does not put that she's an organ donor on the back of her card, her driver's license. And the idea there being, if you get somebody that's inexperienced or whatever the case may be, and they trying to get, yes, DJ D man, booty noodles or chitlins. I got chitlins and hog maw cooking as I'm talking to y'all right now today. Right now, they're cooking. The one and only Keisha Key 36. Come on in here, sunshine. So much love coming to you, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Now, yes, the idea that instead of actually putting it on the back of the driver's license and having something precarious happen to you because you are a donor, the idea, as Twana's Twitch has said, to have her family fully apprised that it's okay for she is an organ donor. She just does not list it on the back of her card so she doesn't end up being somebody else's organs before time. Now, that being said, as we said, the conversation being that at the end of the day, I'm an advocate for organ donations because there are people out there that need those organs, and if they're still good and viable and I don't need them anymore, you can have it. Because I'm out of that body shell. So whoever can have something that's still good and usable and it can be a blessing and life to them, take it. So that is the idea in Twana's Twitch. A lot of people, you know, as you said, need to possibly think about that to the extent of, again, now let me say this, as Twana's Twitch has said, her family is completely aware that she wants to be and desires to be an organ donor. It's just not on the back of her driver's license. So that's what the conversation, if anybody's wondering what that side conversation is. Booty noodles in March, tall pumps, booty noodles. Well, you know, sometimes you have Easter in March, so you know. Don't get me started. Banquet music provided by the Alley Street Gang. You ain't said nothing but a word. This one is for the booty noodles and everybody that's tripping on the fact that I'm cooking hog maw and chitlins even as we speak. And while we at it, come on and say happy birthday to Crazy Berrytown. Today is her birthday, y'all. And she's got her flute loose out here. She's got it. Banquet music is being provided by the Alley Street Gang and booty noodles as the entree. I just want you to know we got it going on up in here. We got it going on. Now, so at the end of the day, y'all ain't gonna shame me out of my booty noodles. I just want you to know I feel nothing. I feel nothing but hunger because right now my stomach is growling. I'm ready to eat. So here we go, y'all. Here we go. At the end of the day, that struck me, and I wanted to talk about that because I feel that is significant to have 70 trillion in transfer coming out from our baby boomers. That was the article, but I had to go over and deal with the experience and the knowledge that's also transitioning out of the workplace. DJ Leo the Great, come on now. Somebody talk about, oh no, that's Twana's Twitch. Y'all happy that there's no smell vision on this stream? Oh, y'all got me going. Listen, truck driver said, I need some yams and some hot water cornbread. It ain't gonna be hot water. It's gonna be Jiffy. I'm gonna tell the truth on that one, truck driver. I ain't gonna lie. It's not gonna be hot water cornbread. It's gonna be Jiffy. It's gonna be Jiffy today. It ain't gonna be no hot water. But the same. Well, I'm not gonna say same, because Jiffy and hot water is definitely two different things. I have to say, I'm gonna have to have somebody teach me on the hot water. MCP 812, do you do hot water cornbread? Because I sure don't. I don't know who in this. Y'all tell me in this stream who does hot. Now, Royal Confessions can cook her tail off. Royal Confessions, do you do hot water cornbread? This is what you get when you eat booty noodles. Come on, one and only morning, Keisha Key. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not getting ready to make no scratch hot water cornbread. It's gonna be Jiffy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here. STL, I'm a woman of integrity. I cannot sit here and lie to you. It's not. Come on, truck driver. Come on. You on your way. Come on down. You do hot water. Come through, Twana. Listen, Twana switches all that in a bag of chips. I just want y'all to know. Come on with the hot water cornbread. Come on. Listen, I don't have any greens, but I could go out and get some. I know you asking for a friend, but if you tell me you gonna show up, I can go get some. Now. You ain't said nothing but a word. We can get it done. So, come through, truck driver. You make hot water cornbread. Come on. Listen, a man that'll cook, honey. A man that knows how to cook. And I'll tell you what, even where that's concerned, my sister's children cook, my mother, all of her brothers cook. Because as a matter of fact, my mother said not only could her brothers cook, her brothers knew how to sew, they knew how to clean, they knew how to do everything that a woman could do. Because her mother said everything a woman can do, a man ought to be able to do it too. So listen, it's some brothers out here in these streets that can burn. You better ask somebody. So everybody ain't like my daddy trying to see how much grease to put in hamburger when you fry it. My father literally wanted to know how much grease to put in hamburger before he fried it. Come on, one reason you make it from scratch. Y'all better come on in here. Fairly All Day says she only does Jiffy in a pinch. Well, I'm in a pinch today. I'm in a pinch. Come on, MCP. You said, no, ma'am, I do Jiffy. Hot water cornbread as well as your mom in North Carolina, and she taught you how to do it. Now that's what I'm talking about. When you get the recipe from those old timers, we were talking about experience right before some of you all came in. We were talking about the fact that 10,000 to 20,000 baby boomers per day are leaving the workplace, and we were talking about the experience that's been lost there by them walking out the door. So even some of these recipes that y'all got from mama and from Auntie Nim and from grandmama, baby, that's experience that needs to be passed down. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to go to my sister's house to get something a little more extensive, because they sat down a little more with my mama and watched what she was doing and asked her how to do this and how to do that. I wasn't trying to do all of that, saints. I wasn't trying to do all of that. The things that I was interested in, I asked. The rest of it went by the wayside. So Jiffy for me. And those that got the recipe from those experienced hands and those experienced hands that say, I can't tell you, you just have to look at it. I can't tell you all this measuring we doing. What is it? 1 teaspoon? Is it? They're like, no, you got to look at it. You got to listen. I don't have that just yet, but that's okay. You having some good soul food and meet up. Yeah, listen, we got it. Anybody that wants to come, you better come on. Fried bread, come through with the fried bread. Y'all gonna make them. I told y'all my stomach is growling. I smell them chitlins cooking and my stomach is growling. I'm not lying. It's really growling. It's been growling ever since I sat down today. Yo, Nana and Mom told you the same thing, that a man ought to be able to do everything a woman can do, and taught you how to cook. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. One reason I need you. Where your brothers? Where your brothers at? I need some brothers. Oh my goodness, y'all got me hungry in here. Rebel said, but the Jiffy though. Now I'm not hating on Jiffy, because I like Jiffy. At the end of the day, that's some good cornbread. So y'all can hate on it if you want to. That's some good cornbread too, and it's easy. Y'all standing there slaving at that stove, and I'm like, y'all see all this gray hair on my head? I ain't got time for all of that. I need something quick, fast, and in a hurry. That's easy. Your mom did the same with your brothers. The youngest brother can outcook you any day. He can burn. Listen, and I'm telling you, my uncles, every last one of my uncles, they were my mother's brothers. Now, my dad and his brother, it was so sad, too bad. But my mother's brothers, they were off the chain. Every last one of them could burn. And baby, you talk about some good eating. Those brothers, my uncles, every last one of them, just off the chain. So, you know, my uncle, I have one surviving uncle left. He is in Hope, Arkansas. Love going out to my Uncle Horace. Man, he's my guy. I love him all day long. He's got a shrimp that he cooks, that he's made his own special batter and recipe. And people, when I tell you, I don't care where you've been and I don't care where you've had shrimp, if you had my uncle's special recipe shrimp that he batters up with his special recipe, you've never had shrimp like my uncle's shrimp. And they come out so tender and juicy and tasty. And I even, one time, I took some other family members on my dad's side. We went down, at that time he was living in Texas, and we went down to Texas, and my aunt swore and declared she did not eat shrimp. He said, just eat one, just eat one. And I promise and swear and declare unto you, honey, mother clean the plate and ask God for more. That's just how delicious this shrimp is. And he goes off, you know, this is the funny thing about it. He goes off in a room where nobody can see him. Baby, he concocts that thing and puts that thing together and comes out, drops that thing down and fries that shrimp up. And I promise you, you ain't never had a more succulent piece of shrimp in your whole entire life. And that's my uncle. So, and I ain't even seen no woman anywhere on the face of this earth cook some shrimp like my uncle shrimp. So, hey, I give it up for the brothers in the kitchen. I got to give it up for the brothers in the kitchen. Because listen, there's some folk out there doing some things. There's some folk out there doing some things. One reason said you learned to cook because you were hungry. I hear you. Tuana's Twitch says, listen, all that stuff's fine in a pinch, but listen, I'm gonna make my stuff from scratch. I love you. I love you. And those that do the scratch, I don't have a problem with it. Just give me an invite and I'll be right over. And I'm one of those, listen, I know how to be a house guest. I know that when I come for dinner, it's not for me to just come and bring my empty belly. I'll bring something with me when I come. You hear what I'm saying? I know how to be a good house guest, and I appreciate the invite, but I will not come empty-handed. I will bring a dessert. I will bring a drink, a beverage, something is gonna come, a gift, a thank you, or something, because I know how to be a good house guest, and I appreciate you for your energy cooking from scratch. And I ain't gonna just show up with my empty belly and carry out totes. Let me quit, because some of y'all know y'all believe in them good carry out totes. Y'all know I done stepped on somebody's toes. Y'all believe in them good carry out totes. You come in the door toting your tote, but that's all right. That's all right. So I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. Get your dinner together. Get your dinner together. Now, coming on. Man, y'all, I love all of this conversation y'all got going on over here. Let me catch up. So I want to do this. Show me the plates. We done made you hungry. Not hungry. Hungry. Whatever way you want to pronounce it. We done made Cassandra hungry up in here. LaWanda Baskerville. Did I have a raid and I missed it? I see you. Come on in here. LaWanda. Y'all know last week, y'all was in here a whole 10 minutes plus, and I didn't know y'all had a raid. So, chalk it up to my head and not my heart and my eyeballs, because I may have missed something. LaWanda Baskerville is in the room. JB Wright 77 is in the room. Come on, you do from scratch dressing every now and then. I hear you, JB Wright. She is a streamer, y'all. If you're not following her, please follow her. Cause listen, Wanda Visions is in here. Yes, Miracle Signs and Wonders, LaWanda Baskerville. We got JB Wright 77 that I saw with Dr. Dady on yesterday doing her thing. So much love coming to you. If you're not following her, please follow her. And I'll come get some of that dressing. My mother was the queen of dressing, and I just don't even know where I'm gonna get dressing like my mama since she crossed over. God rest her. But listen, you ain't had no dressing till you had my mama's dressing. Did I see a happy birthday? Come on. Let's go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Yes. It's her birthday, y'all. Crazy Berry Town. Meet us in Mike City's channel. 4 o'clock today. Cause listen, beloved, we're gonna celebrate my girl. We're gonna celebrate my girl. We're gonna celebrate my girl. That's my girl. Yes. Look back at it, Crazy Berry Town. Look back at it. It's your birthday. Come on. I love it, and we love you. Birthday wishes still coming in here for you, sis, because you deserve every last one of them. Because you, everywhere you go, you bring the sunshine, you bring the love, you bring the joy, you bring the peace, you bring Crazy Berry Town. And we want you to know we love it and we appreciate it out here in these here streets. So much love coming at you, sis. So much love coming at you. Now, as we continue on, I want to close out with some statistics that came up. And in one of the sessions, Crazy Berry Town, it's for you, girl. Only for you. You know what? Cause you my girl. So that's how we do. That's how we do. Let's go, Boo-Tay. Come on, take it with you. Look back at it, Crazy Berry Town. Now, this is an article that came out today that I also want to cover, and we're going to get out of here. This is going to be our conversation for the Empowerment Hour, and this is a statistic that I still feel like it's happening. I feel like it's going to change, but statistically, since COVID and everything that's happened, we're still seeing that in the workplace and in the workforce. I want to share this with you. In the workplace and in the workforce, we are still seeing that women of color have not come to the place of equality that we want to see. And so I want to deal with this even in the face of dealing with diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's what DEI stands for, if anybody's not familiar with DEI. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. The women of color have still been extremely undervalued despite the focuses of diversity, equity, inclusion since the pandemic. So I kind of wanted to talk about that as we get up out of here today, because we're talking about Women's History Month. And as I said so many times, the more things change, the more things stay the same. But I feel like the change is going to come because we're going to continue to talk about it. We're going to continue to bring awareness to it. We're going to continue to have conversation around it so that we can address things that need to change. So this is what we found in the statistics of diversity, equity, inclusion, is that as corporate America has said this is a top priority, Black women are still being grossly left out in the Fortune 500 companies is what they're looking at immediately. And then understanding that if it's not happening in Fortune 500, it's surely not happening in the companies that are not in the Fortune 500 and below. It tends to be the only way we get something to happen is if we make something happen. We got to make some noise. So as they begin to say, women's numbers went up, and yet and still Black women's numbers did not. So as we look at the companies in the Fortune 500 that we see little and no diversity still for those women of color coming out, even though this big push has been going on. So let's look at, I want to come down and pull out some of these numbers and just kind of share some of this information with you. The Diversity Inc. has said that the top 50 companies have not even scratched the surface when it comes to women of color being brought up to speed. So at this point, I really wanted to talk about this because I do feel like, as they said, the future is female, the future is feminine, and there are doors opening. And while we say that with so much hope, with so much expectation, with so much anticipation for Black people and particularly Black women, that still is not happening for Black women. As they say, Black women have the double strike of being Black and being female, which has left them in a dilemma and a quandary where they're actually still way down on the totem pole because they have the double whammy. So, this is something that I looked at this morning, and I was glad that they came out with this study. This was an article that came out today. It is out there in Yes You, Slumbered, Slept, and Slobbered for anybody that really wants to look at this more in depth. I'm just going to skim it. So according to the Catalyst, and it's a nonprofit organization that looks to advance women in leadership. And again, we're not just talking about coming into the workforce and being workers. We're talking about coming to a point where we bring Black women into a place of leadership and leadership roles within these organizations. At the end of the day, we know that in many of these corporations and many of these organizations, Black women tend to be the energy that makes the world go round. But unfortunately, Black women are not rewarded equitably for being the ones that make the world go round. They'll pick us for our ideas. They'll pick us for our ingenuity, creativity. We'll write it down. Somebody else takes it and runs with it, and we still are not compensated. Or even at the times that they do take what we've done, we still are not compensated equally to our male counterparts. So we got to keep talking about it. We got to keep talking about it until we see this start to change. So the Catalyst, this organization that went out and really began to scrutinize all of these major seats that were available in the corporate arena, unfortunately, they came back with the reality that for Black women especially, we still need specific gender, race, and ethnicity goals to drive results and measure that progress. Don't just set the goal, but we actually need you to go back and measure your progress. Then these are the things that they suggested to Fortune 500 companies to try to bring this to a more equitable place. That's number one. Number two, mitigate bias in the selection progress. Because a lot of us, before we can even get in there, they've already X'd us out before we can even get our foot in the door. In the interview and selection process, we're left out at the very beginning. So to mitigate bias in the selection process by ensuring the nominating panel is diverse and understanding the role of unconscious bias. Now we could have a whole stream on unconscious bias. And I said this the other day, even when I was dealing with, we had a conversation, I believe it was Yes You and Friends, where my friend Tyrone challenged me as to roles. And so do you hold the door for men? And I said, I absolutely do. I absolutely hold the door for whoever needs the door held if the situation warrants it. It's not a gender issue. But when we talk about unconscious bias, and you say, how can unconscious bias exist? And it exists in states like this, situations like this. I was holding the door. I had gone into an establishment to buy some food. I was holding the door for a father who had a small son, and they were Caucasian, and they had their hands full, and the little boy was trying to hold his little drink and sip out of it at the same time. So I'm cool with that. I'm holding the door. I'm letting you come out. Well, little boy, how old are you? Little boy stops and takes his sweet time to stand there and big gulp out of this cup while dad is standing there as I'm holding the door, like looking at me like, yes, ma'am, you're in the position that you're supposed to be doing. I looked and I said, you know what? At this point, I'm gonna let this door hit you where the good Lord split you, because you take your hands and you hold this door for your little boy while he stands here and leisurely drinks from his cup, and you look at me like I'm in the right position holding this door. I surely let that door go. So what are you saying, spiritual thought leader? So when you start talking about unconscious bias, and when you start talking about teaching the children, listen, we never use the N word. We never this, we never that in our house. This is the thing that I realized, and this is something that I want to bring to your attention. This father, without saying a word, was teaching his son, this little boy. This father was teaching his little boy by his maneuvering and example, like I was doing what I was supposed to do. And son, you can take your sweet time and stand here the next 5 minutes and drink if you want to while she holds this door. And baby, when I tell you, good morning, Barbara Hardy, come on in here. So much love coming to you. Love you. That's my these are they. You are it, ma'am. Baby, when I tell you, I let that door go with a quickness, because what you will not do is use me being kind to teach your son that he has privilege to take his leisurely sweet time and stand there and suck on that straw while I hold the door, and I'm gonna hold the door until you get done. No, ma'am, no, sir. Hold your own door. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Hold your own door. But what you're teaching your son is that this is a positioning that is appropriate and it's right for me to be standing here. And listen, when I tell you, everything in me, baby, that's white privilege. Everything in me, let that door loose. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I let that door loose, because what you're not going to do is teach this baby unconscious bias with the white privilege, like this is the order of things. And there's nothing in that scenario that at the end of the day look anything right. And you're not going to teach this to your child by utilizing me to stand here and hold this door. I'm not going to be the one that's going to teach your child white privilege. So at the end of the day, these are the types of things that we have to address, we have to confront, we have to deal with. And I don't care if you come back 10 times. I never taught my child the N-word, but did you teach him white privilege? Did you unconsciously allow them to have this mindset that there's an order of things and that automatically black folk are invisible, automatically black folk are to serve, automatically black folk are less than, because baby, your actions speak louder than words. Y'all don't have to buy what I'm selling, but I know what I'm talking about. And I stood there as I went on in about my business, and I stood there and I chuckled to myself, because I said, listen, at the end of the day, I would almost venture to say, had I been a white female, no ma'am, no sir, I wouldn't have been holding the door to begin with. But I surely wouldn't be standing there holding the door while you looking at me like this is what you're supposed to do. And your little son is standing here sipping out of his cup like he doesn't need to move. Number one, I'm trying to come in the door and y'all blocking the door from me even getting in there, and I'm holding the door. Oh no. Listen, I just felt that in my shondo. Let me go over here and get it, because I felt it in my shondo. Because listen, at the end of the day, so as they said, we got to deal with this unconscious bias, the things that we have experienced. And this again is to those board members in the Fortune 500 companies. We need to deal with unconscious balance. We need to deal with unconscious bias, because there are so many ways and so many things that, okay, y'all remember the video footage we showed the other week of the young boys that were fighting in the mall, and the high schooler came to the middle school black young man and jumped on him, started to fight. So we're out here fighting. The po-po show up. They take the young white man and sit him on the couch, and then take the young black man and throw him down on the ground, knees in the back, and the whole 9 yards. Now, a lot of times people will say, but listen, I'm not racist. That's not me. I'm not racist. But it still does not take away from the fact and the reality that when given the opportunity, many times you will still operate and maneuver in an unconscious bias if you're not racist. This unconscious bias that feels like there's a different treatment between black skin and white skin. And at the end of the day, you cannot denounce nor deny that it's not directly associated, at bare minimum, to white privilege. Now, I'm gonna challenge you if you're telling me you're not biased, then maybe. But at the bare minimum, you definitely are operating in an unconscious bias where we're dealing with this idea of white privilege and the difference between treatment of a black body versus treatment of a white. We've got to deal with these issues head on and begin to say this too must stop. So many times, again, they're addressing this unconscious bias. They're dealing with that at the point of the selection process, because sometimes we never even get an opportunity. It's almost like the young lady said that, was it Catwoman, that she had applied for Batman in years prior. I want to say it was 2011, and they told her she was too urban. She didn't even get to read. That's what we're talking about. We need to mitigate the process in the selection process. We need to mitigate it at the selection process. She said, I didn't even get to read for the role because they told me when I walked in, I didn't touch a script. You're too urban. What is too urban? So we see this manifest in so many different areas, in so many different ways. We got to stop it. Then the other thing that they said, we've got to build a pipeline of women of color by making it everyone's job to track the career of women of color and cast a wider net for potential candidates. Now this is a place where we talk about the baby boomers came out, and this is something I want us to pay attention. Y'all bring somebody. If you know it's your time to exit an area, bring somebody to the table. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? If you're getting ready to go off the scene, find somebody in that company and tutor them. Give them some tutelage. Give them some mentorship. Take them under your wings and get that protege mentor mentee process going. Don't just leave it empty. Find somebody that you can bring along the way and put them in the pipeline. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Because then what are they going to say? Well, we don't have anybody qualified to replace them with. And so you walk out the door and they replace you with people that are not of color. I'm telling you, we've got to start looking at the pipeline and preparing people and putting them in the pipeline for succession. That's what Fairly All Day was talking about early. I hope these companies had succession plans. And I would say, again, I doubt it for many of them. But this is a thing, I want you to do this on a personal level. And this has, come on and get these apprentices going. I want you to look at this on a personal level. What can I do to mentor and train somebody in whatever my expertise is, in whatever my area is, in whatever my knowledge is? What can I do to get the pipeline flowing? Because if there's nothing in the pipeline, who and what's going to replace you? Come on now. And this is what I do want to say, but you've got your counterparts out here and they're filling that pipeline chock full of all kind of folk, filling it full of whether they qualified or not. They got that pipeline full. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? And then when I look over at our pipeline in the Black community, you know what? Who's going to replace you, babies? Who is going to replace? Who have you brought along in the journey? Oh, and nepotism at its finest. I'm trying to tell you, you ain't said nothing but a word one reason. Whole lot of nepotism. But this is where I'm saying, even as I talked about yesterday, find your space, find your place, and get busy. It may not even be anything more than you taking people under your wing and giving them the knowledge that you have. Okay, so y'all in here talking about scratch cornbread. Listen, I don't have no problem with the hot water cornbread, but when you close your eyes, when your mama and your nanny and your granny have all closed their eyes, how many of your children are going to have these skills and abilities? How many of them are going to know how to do the things that you and so many generations before you brought to the table? How are they going to know how to do these things if you've not taken them under their wing? Maybe if you are the consummate cake baker, maybe you need to, even before you, and I know some of y'all got secret recipes you don't want anybody to know, but baby, if you close your eyes, your secret recipe is going to the grave with you. How many of you are actually taking the time as that consummate, absolute, phenomenal cake baker? How many cake bakers do you have in the pipeline to come after you? Do you understand the words that are coming? We need to fill our pipelines. We need to fill our pipelines so that when we move and when we transition, and I'm not even just talking about in death, I'm talking about even while you're alive. Listen, my journey is totally different now than the journey I had even 10 years ago, 5 years ago. My journey looks totally different. There's some moves that I'm about to make. There's some shifts that are about to take place. Who have I mentored and tutored, and how many apprentices have I taken under my wing to take the place that when I shift, I ain't talking about dead, but when I shift and pivot, who's ready to fill in the space that I just left open? And this is something that I feel like we need to talk about, this pipeline. We need to talk about this pipeline that we are or are not building, and start to say, listen, some of this is incumbent upon us to take it in our responsibility, accountability, our care for the future, our forward thinking. It's our responsibility to create this pipeline, monitor it, help these people be nurtured as they go along the journey. Don't just get them in the pipeline and just leave them. Don't just leave them in the pipeline where, listen, a flood could come along and kill them in the pipeline. I need you, I need myself, I need everybody that understands the need for this pipeline, not only what they're suggesting to the Fortune 500 companies, because listen, those Fortune 500 companies may not take these recommendations and do a thing with it. We need to take the initiative and be proactive where, baby, I got somebody ready for you. I'm getting ready to leave, but here you go. I'm getting ready to leave, but here's the resume. I'm getting ready to leave, but here's the name. Slide them right on in there, because, baby, they got the knowledge, they got the know-how, they got to understand them, because I trained them. I trained them. This was handpicked, and I trained them for this position. This is an area that we've got to pick up the pace, and we got to start doing something. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? We've got to pick up the pace and start doing something. Now, I'm coming up to my closing time. I'm not going to go over. I'm right here at 9 o'clock, but we're going to pick this back up tomorrow, because this study that they came out, there's so much information in it. I told you it's out there in my stream on Discord. It's in my channel, rather, on Discord. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna talk about it some more tomorrow, because they have some very, very important points that they pull out of this a study that they did, and we need to pay attention, because this is how, when we're talking about, we're still not coming up to the level of equality and equity in the system, especially for our Black sisters. We need to understand the dynamics involved and what we need to do to change it. We're not going to just keep sitting there talking about, oh, you know, we still left out of the game. We still left out of the game. No, I'm not coming with we still left out of the game. I'm coming with how are we going to change this game to the game that we want? How are we going to change the whatever needs to happen in this game to bring Black women to the table? We shall not be left out. And we got statistics in there. Women are moving up. Black women, on the other hand, is a whole nother issue. Native American sisters is a whole nother issue. Listen, it's got the statistics in there, and we want to talk about it. I'm not just talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion for women, because that being interpreted is white women. And Asian women. Asian women are moving too. So those two groups, they're benefiting from this process. But the rest of us are still shut out. So I'm going to say this and I'm going to get out of the way. I see you, MCP 812. Your mom taught you how to make homemade yeast rolls and many other things, and you ready to pass it on. We've got to pass it on, y'all. We've got to pass it on. We've got to start developing our own pipeline. That's where I'm going to start today, because we're still left out of the numbers. Bottom line, we can be as hopeful, as wishful, as all of this, but at the end of the day, the statistics are showing that as of all of the time that diversity, equity, and inclusion has come to the fore since the pandemic, we are still left out. So let's have this conversation, because we will be brought in. We will. We command, we demand. We shall be brought in. You're not going to keep leaving us out of the narrative. So then we got to identify, we need to talk about, and that's where I want you to start. I want you to start with introspection. What am I doing to create and fill the pipeline? What am I doing? I'm not talking you. Yes, you. That's what's the name of this. The name of this podcast is Yes, You, because we ain't talking to everybody else. I'm talking to you. Yes, you, O cubed, one-on-one, just me and you. I'm talking to you. What are you doing to create and build a pipeline? And what are you doing to fill that pipeline? And that's where I'm going to leave you this morning. And we'll touch and talk about many of the other issues on tomorrow. That's where we're going. That's what we're doing. That's what we're talking about, because we shall not be left out of this process, especially at this very critically and pivotal time right now. We shall not be left out. Now, all of that being said, I got to do this one more time because it's her birthday, y'all. It's her birthday. Look back at it, Crazy Berry Town. Look back at it, my sister. Listen, this is how we're going out today. Copy the raid message as we go, and I want to see you at 4 o'clock in Mike City's channel, where we will be celebrating Crazy Berry Town, because that's my girl, y'all. That's my girl. And this is how we're going out. And that flute shall not be denied. Bring it, bring it, bring it. We love you, we love you, we love you. Happy birthday to you, sis. Happy birthday. And I want to get up out of here. Copy that raid message, y'all, because we gone. Uh-oh, that's the wrong one, y'all. I done hit the wrong. That flute, it's that flute that got me again, y'all. That flute has me, I'm spellbound. I'm mesmerized. I can't think straight. I can't see straight. I'm just confused. I'm discombobulated. Lord Jesus, y'all, help me in here. Help me, help me, help me. It's that flute. Happy birthday, Crazy Berry Town. Rebel Inc., Michelle Browno, Shelly Thunder, thank you for moderating. Zachary Jays, you, and 14 Infernal Flame, thank you for following us today. Love you so much.
Oh, I feel for my brother. Feel for my brother. You know, a lot of my brothers are dead and gone, but they've been hanging on the block a little too long. What can I say? I hope they live to see a brighter day, and the ones that are doing fine,